Hey, I'm never sure why people come to my page. I appreciate it. But if you're here for travel, one thing I will always do is when I find something good, I will share it, whether it's a price, whether it's a location, or whether it's another YouTuber. And that's all this video is, I watched a YouTube video I thought was very good about travel, and I wanted to, pass that on and share it and add my 2 cents. So you can skip to the end and see the link and go to it, or you can listen to me and my 2 cents on the video. But I do think it's a very important video for travelers and expats to watch and think about how you would handle it and how you can prevent yourself from getting into that situation, that type of rut. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. Take care. Bye. Hey, so I'm watching this video, great video, and I'll put the screenshot of the video up. It was a live stream from Only in Japan Go, and sorry, I was reading it on my screen over there. So he gets a message from this guy who's having a hard time living abroad, and I want to talk about that. I had a couple conversations. It's weird how, I seem to get hit with like 3 or 4 things at the same time from different perspectives that all, seem to string together. But this guy was having a hard time and left, I can't remember his name. Oh, why can't I remember his name? Only in Japan Goes, really great channel, especially if you like Japan, but it's also a great channel for any expat or anybody traveling. He covers a lot of topics, and this is one of those great topics. So the guy messaged him, he's having a hard time making friends and this and that, and he's in the throes of depression is what it sounds like. But I want to say John, I can't remember. Anyway, so he's going through the whole message, right? And one of the things that he shies away from is conformity. When you're in a different country, you have to conform a little bit. So there's a couple points I want to make on this just because I think they're so relevant to anybody traveling. And, that's things a lot of people know, but a lot of people forget or don't practice, or it's not in the front of their mind. It's not the go-to answer when they have a problem. So anyway, the guy's going on and on about, all the different cultural differences. And that's, to me, one of the beauties of traveling is that trying to understand and navigate the different cultural differences. Like, my first day in Albania, I made a major cultural faux pas, and it took me months to correct it. I wouldn't let somebody buy me a coffee. I'm sitting there like, we'd been talking, and I knew how much money he made, and I'm not trying to be rude, but as a foreigner, making American dollars and living in Albania, or moving to Albania, or visiting Albania, it's not a fair comparison to compare budgets. And so I insisted on paying for the drinks, and I didn't understand that was a huge cultural insult. So learning to navigate the different cultures is very important, or fun, or challenging, or great for me. Like, I love to, try to learn and pick up a lot of the cultural stuff. I suck with language, so I do what I can there, but trying to learn the culture, is equally important to me. And so this guy that left the comments going on, and I do believe that you do need to conform to wherever you're at. You can't, take your American attitude and, think it's that way everywhere. And I can tell a bunch of different stories, but even this one guy on, my YouTube channel, under one of the comments of one of the videos, I'm sure you can sort it out, but he was going on and on about how videoing people in public is fair game and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, but culturally in some countries, it's not appreciated. Like, I would not be doing that in Albania. It's rude, right? And a lot of other places, they don't appreciate being videotaped. And, if you're there as a tourist or as an expat, you should be sensitive to that culture and the norms of that culture, and you should conform to it. I'm a big believer of that. And this guy goes on and on and on about not finding friends and people this and people that. And the one point I wanted to make with this video is that I wanted to get across is you are 100% responsible for the response you get from other people. Now, there will always be that 3 or 5% who's just going to treat you whatever. But, I've had this conversation with so many people, and it's like, look, if you don't like the way the public, the general, everybody is responding to you, go look in the mirror and figure out why they're responding to you that way. I, was having a hard time getting the responses from people that I wanted. And I put a lot of time, effort, and was very deliberate in changing the way I stood, changing the, affect of my tone of my voice, changing the tone of my voice, the speech, everything. And when you understand that you tell the world how to treat you, how to respond to you, how to react to you, how to interact with you by the way you stand, by the way you cut your hair. I mean, in some countries, wearing a beard like this I get a very negative response just because of this. I was talking to another new online friend here, met him through YouTube, and he was talking about the challenges he has going to some countries because of his tattoos. And that's just a reality, and you have to adjust. You can't expect them to change. It's just not going to happen, right? So you need to understand that, but you can always change yourself. You can always change the way you talk, the way you stand, your mannerisms, whether you talk with a lot of hands or whether you stand like this or stand like this or shoulders back, right? All of that clues people in very subconsciously and sometimes very consciously on how to respond and treat and react to you. And I'll go back, I don't know, it was a long time ago. I was working at this store and I was working in the warehouse. So I was always dirty, not like filthy, like ditch filthy, but, I was always, moving dusty boxes and stuff, and I wear black pants and a green t-shirt every day, right? Wasn't a uniform, but I basically wore a uniform to work. Wasn't mandatory or anything, but I just did it because it was easy, right? Go buy 5 pairs of black pants and green shirts, and there you go, boom. Because you're working in a warehouse. Anyway, so I go next door to grocery store and I buy lunch every day. Every day I'm in there 5 days a week. With the exception I'd go out and eat lunch, but the majority of the time I'd go in and buy a sandwich or a bag of chips and a jar of salsa or something, right? I just go over there. And one day I go over there and I'm wearing a shirt, tie, slacks, dress shoes, the whole 9 yards. And it was the funniest thing because I had like 6 different people come up, including the store manager and the assistant store manager, come up. Sir, can I help you with anything? Sir, can I help you find anything? Sir, do you need help with anything? And to me, it was the funniest thing because, I was a young guy. I think I was 24. It was not the first time, but one of the first times I really experienced such a dramatic change. And the next day I'm in there and I'm walking right by these same people. They're just ignoring me. So the day, weeks, months before, nobody ever asked if I wanted anything. It's a grocery store, right? I go in there and, a decently nice shirt and tie, get all the attention in the world. Next day, same thing, no attention. And it was just the funniest thing to me because it told me everything about society, or about that store, about those people, right? It told me a lot. But the same thing rings true today. If you're walking around with a negative attitude or this or that, you're not going to make friends on the road. And I don't have a total control over it, but it's pretty easy to shut down, be quiet, and kind of fend people off when I'm out traveling. And it's also pretty easy to open up and invite people over to start random conversations with me when I'm out traveling. And then it's also easy to actively go start conversations with people. Look around and, who looks bored, who's this? And hey, how are you? Hi. And it's amazing that some people don't understand this. And so if you're having a hard time making friends, go look in the mirror and say, who would want to be friends with me? And if it's not the people you want to be friends with, change yourself. Because I promise you, if the last 2 years have taught me anything, it's easy to make friends. It's really easy anywhere on the planet. I mean, sure, you might find a city that's xenophobic or something, right? But, I've been able to make friends pretty much anywhere I wanted to go. I would say for me, actually the hardest was Malaysia, and that's because I wasn't out and about a lot. And, when I was always on a mission. I was always doing something. I was never just like out looking for friends. But everywhere else, it's been really easy to make friends, both local and foreign. So I really hope you go watch this video on Only in Japan. And I'm not going to put the link up, but I'll put up the screenshot so you can go see it. But it is really a great video, and he does a great job of breaking it down and talking about it. But, get out, get a passport, get out, go use it. There's a ton of great people out in the world. And the neat thing for me about traveling is when you're on the road and you meet other people traveling, for the most part, you're meeting the best of the best, right? So the super rich, snobby people, usually they're, not traveling with regular people. They're really angry, mean, jerky people. They're usually not out traveling either, right? They're usually at home, like getting pissed about something. So what I found, like the big advantage, one really interesting thing is when you're out traveling and you're going around to the more, not like the super touristy spots, but like that mid-level tourist or the local tourist spots, places where local tourists go, you meet like the best of the best of the best of people. It's just like an amazing filtering process. If you want to filter out, and find the cream of the crop, go travel. And I had friends tell me this, 15, 20 years ago, how they would go on these cruises and they always met these people they were just, would meet up, so compatible with. And they would, and then they went RVing for a few years. And when they'd be out RVing, they would make the best friends. And so, you have these people, my friends, they met people on a cruise or RVing, and then they're planning to vacation with them again in the future because they're just out. People are out, looking for friends to go have a good time with, friends who want to go travel, friends who are happy. And that's who you meet out on the road. So go check out this video, Only in Japan. I'll get off my ass and get a screenshot up there. Get a passport. Go use it. And when you're out there using it, stop and say hi to people. Stand up with your shoulders back. Smile. I know I scare people when I smile, but, I've told the story about this little guy in Japan, so I won't tell it again, but maybe I will again in the future. Funny story. Anyway, have a good day.